Hi, welcome back to part 3 of our look through of the Galaxy Garage match Lightspeed. Fucking bullshit. We're gonna got some more matches for you guys.
That's a night.
What are we starting with? Oh, another battle royale.
I don't know.
Okay. So this is San versus Tighnari versus
Tighnari,
the
yeah.
Lorax,
Tighnari, yeah.
my favorite, versus
Oh,
Nakoruru.
no.
I'd like
Now-
to say this was my favorite thing submitted in the entire submissions chat. So good job.
Mine too, but for a very different reason than
I,
you.
having not seen Princess Mononoke, have decided to rep Sam.
You haven't seen Princess
I've
Mononoke.
not, but
Jesus.
I've
Are
chosen.
you fucking kidding?
Hold on, I'll ask
Why are you
him if he's
debating?
awake right now. He loves Princess Mononoke.
Nobody else was doing it.
The winner is Max.
You should read out the
Yeah, anyone who's
scenario
seen
and then
Princess
go with
Mononoke.
your ironclad San argument.
You got it.
It might be San. I don't actually know.
Son,
I'm going
Sam.
It'll be Son. It'll be Son.
Now, Ribbit, if you maybe afterwards you can help me out, but I've got this first argument down pat. But let's hear the scenario. World famous celebrity Mr. Beast returned just in time for his next Team Speed event. But this time, he issued a challenge. From his trip,
Oh my fucking god.
From his trip getting frags and getting W's on Artemis Island, he brought home 4 individuals who strongly advocated for the protection of forests and wildlife as a whole to our real world as spokespersons for Team Trees. He's challenged each side to see who can get the most donations so they can win a lifetime supply of Feastables. Who will come out on top?
The Lorax just sticks out like a sore
I
thumb.
hate that I'm first because I was gonna use my time to just read like a fucking wiki summary.
You wanna go last? You wanna save?
I would like to go last. So Tighnari starts.
All right. Okay. The first time talking about a Genshin character on this channel. Tighnari is the forest watcher of the Avidia forest in Sumeru. So basically, he's just like your average park ranger, goes around collecting plants, studying fungi. He's actually a part of this school called the Academia, where there are 6 different darshans, or main focus groups, and he's a part of the biology darshan. I'm forgetting what the exact name of it is, but when it comes to like actually knowing anything about nature, trees, he's basically got that all down pat. But what really matters here is their ability to raise money. And I think just the sheer connections Tighnari has in the world of Genshin, let alone it's a Genshin scenario where the main goal is making money, I think he's got this. So just to go like into his small group of familiars, Dori is a merchant throughout Sumeru who makes a shitload of money selling illegal goods, but also I think she's got like a front where she just makes a lot of money. Nilu is the main dancer of Zubair Theater, so she could likely put on performance. There's other members of the Academia like Al Haytham and Kaveh, other just really smart scholars who are well now renowned. But most importantly, he knows Nahida, who is a god. So that's one element that Nakoruru basically doesn't have special to her anymore. She's the god of wisdom, but also basically the god of nature. And Tighnari knows the Traveler, who has been all around the world and has even more connections. So if you need just a group of people to help promote what Mr. Beast is doing, Tighnari has basically got that on pat. Compared to his competition, like San is easily going to be like the least effective here, knowing what to do, because she was raised by wolves her whole life. She's only by the end of the movie, I believe, coming into modern society. The Lorax completely fails his objective in the movie. When like not only does he completely fail to let the people of Whoville stop cutting down the trees until it's all over, he only has experience with truffula trees, which aren't real trees, so I don't actually know what he's going to do. Like, I know he's great at speaking with his hands, but that's about the only angle I see the Lorax having. Nakoruru is kind of interesting because she's a maiden of light, which is basically a god, and she also has the ability to talk to animals, so the Lorax is also screwed in terms of like another advantage he has. But Sam Show takes place in feudal Japan. You can argue Genshin takes place in the past too, because it's like medieval knights and stuff. But there's obviously future technology. And I just don't think she has as many connections. I know she knows Halmaru, but that's about it.
Okay, so anyways, we can. So now that you've actually said that, actually leads to my point. So Nakoruru,
Okay,
she's
skip Lorax.
she's okay. Who the fuck cares? He loses. So Samurai Showdown.
Wow.
Lorax will come after. We'll come after.
Yeah, Lorax will come after. So Samurai Showdown, obviously, it takes place in feudal Japan. Nakoruru, she kind of acts as the de facto protagonist of the series. She's kind of like the secondary main character. Her whole thing is that she's the spirit of nature. So she is able to call upon nature. She's able to talk to trees. She's able to talk to animals. She's actually, and after the second game, she becomes one with nature, so that she's able to sense the presence of any natural inhabitants that needs like cleaning. So I think that's going to be like a really good advantage for her, because she can always sense like what needs to be planted, where they need to be planted. And then if we're going into King of Fighters 14, she actually is able to travel through dimensions. And King of Fighters 14 and 15, they take place in modern day. So she has connections to idols like Athena. She has connections to Mew Mew. She has connections to Loveheart. She has connections to like all the King of Fighters girls, who all already like have like a very huge presence within Japan. So automatically, like she might not have like a worldwide appeal, but she does have connections, at least in the modern era, where she wouldn't be like screwed against like Tighnari, trying to promote their products. Especially like if she has like the Traveler. As far as like the goddess point goes, she's already a goddess, so having Nahida there isn't really going to help her much, because she can do the same thing. She can talk to nature. She destroyed like the evil embodiment of like pollution and like dark times, and sacrificed herself to do it. She has become one with the grass. So I'm not sure. Like the only thing that would like cinch this is if she's shown to just straight up grow trees, but the only time she's ever done that is when she sacrificed herself against Yiga, and then nature was restored after her sacrifice. But yeah, that'd be the only thing. If she was able to just grow trees out of thin air, then yeah, she just fucking win.
Larry, would you like to Lorax?
So you guys bought some interesting stuff. You know, all this magic stuff, going trees and stuff. But luckily, that's all useless, because this isn't about this, you know, saving trees. This is about making money. And the Lorax, well, is friends with the Onceler, because at the end of the movie, they're friends. And the Onceler is great at getting at marketing, getting the money. He made obviously his Sneed empire spanned across the entire world to the point where literally like the demand was so high for it, literally every single tree. Obviously he's using his power for good now to help the trees, but if he knows how to bring in the money, it's definitely the Onceler. And the Lorax can help too, since I would say he's more marketable. He's more marketable than the other three. He even well, obviously he didn't want to. He was still like part of like some billboard saying like, oh, Lorax approved the Sneed. He was part of it. Not to mention he's also not to mention he also just appears in just other commercials for like IHOP and stuff. He knows how to market. Also, as seen in the goated Mario movie trailer, he knows the rest of the Illumination cast.
Oh my god!
That'll be able to help it out. And if any, like, you say what you want about Illumination, but if they know how to do one thing, that's marketing. I mean, they got the Mario movie up to making almost $1 billion. They know how to. They know how to add.
But you're not arguing for the Lorax, you're arguing for the brand that Illumination is putting out of the Lorax. The Lorax character, you're just self-admitting that the character loses, but his marketing.
No. He's a part of it. He could. This is his team. This is his group.
Like how?
Bro thinks he's on the team.
This is his.
If you took Lorax out of that, it just made this Illumination promotes Mr. Beast, and of course they're winning.
Alright,
He's the part of it. He's the one gathering the squad. He's the head honcho of the group. So of course
You're not
he's
gonna go
going
up to some random people you found at the movie theater and ask them to help you with the Disney thing.
No offense doing that. Doing that commercial.
They don't go just screw over. You're like I'm a cup holder. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. That's the crux of the conversation they have with one another.
The pals.
Barry, can you please say the thing?
No, I'm not saying the thing.
Max, can you please put the GIF on screen?
I'll put it on. Well, Rain will put it on screen. This is Jack.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, random put it on screen.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not ready, but I'm just gonna go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Max.
From what I'm reading, San does not like humanity. She, in fact, rejects her own humanity and sees herself as more of a wolf these days. I'm gonna say, in order to get the most donations, she's going to threaten the shit out of people. She seems like she's willing to kill people.
That sounds like a
Thanks.
great
I already
idea.
know that. Right. I think I can already help you with
Tag
this. I'm not
in.
even
You're
seeing
debating
Princess
for
Mononoke.
San. Tag in. Get me out of here.
Oh fuck. So I am aware that San's got a cursed arm that's gonna kill them or whatever. But they are still happy to take a detour to help just regular citizens of a town
Yes,
with their work. Just lend a good old helping hand.
That's what I was gonna say.
And that's really about. I've seen the Schaeferless Ghibli ranking. That's the extent of my knowledge on this movie.
Ribbit, help us. Ribbit, tag in. Ribbit, tag
Always
in.
checked out.
Help!
Always.
Nah, mate. Debate for the character.
Back in.
End of debate. San's gonna fucking bully the shit out of people
Okay,
until
so
they donate.
Holy shit.
So let's put this
I
to
feel
who do you guys win?
I feel like I did good last.
I think Laura.
See, I feel like San gets first, and then we got a close second with the Lorax.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't think San is in this debate, unfortunately. Just
Not
because
like actually, like directly, there's no debate.
I do
don't have
think
a
the
debater
ones
for
that
it.
are
I've
actually
seen
a
Princess
decent
Mononoke,
angle.
but I don't know. Like she doesn't have any of the advantages everyone else has.
So like
she's
even if
in
I had to,
she's
for
in
this
an
one,
older
okay, I
time.
was
But
fucked.
also-
Damn, I'm trying to debate for you, Max. Jesus.
Look,
So she's in an
even-
older time
What
period.
you're saying right now is even if I had watched the movie, I was fucked.
Yeah, because she's in an older time period. She's not like a spirit of nature. Sure, she can talk to animals, but that's about it.
And
I
see,
thought I
She's
could
like
help
a
you.
warrior.
The Lorax can do that too.
She's a warrior, and she barely speaks English or like the language of the film. So
Wait, DJ, is she the one with the cursed arm, or have I got a mix up?
no,
with another
are you
character?
talking about the guy or the girl?
I don't actually. I've not seen the movie.
It's on the guy or the girl. See now I need to look up.
Biff's talking about the guy.
Oh, the guy.
So
Okay,
you
so
knew.
Max,
Ribbit, you could have helped.
I give you information on the wrong
No,
character.
San
Whoops.
is Mononosuke. Okay, it's the girl.
Ribbit,
No,
you
what's
could
the
have
girl?
fucking
I thought-
helped.
I
San's the
thought
girl.
Yeah, no. She doesn't have the arm.
She doesn't have the cursed arm, so she doesn't really have anything.
Damn.
So I'm
I
going
could've-
for Lorax.
Also, you guys keep
What do you mean
saying
it could've helped?
that
Not me.
you guys keep saying that the Lorax doesn't have access to the illumination stuff, but like there was like a couple of things like like, you gotta stay quiet in the theater and stuff. He's aware of his own movies. He
That's
works for
true.
the
At the start of the fucking movie. At the start of the fucking
He
movie.
knows about illumination.
I
he
think the
has that
fact that
power.
Lorax fumbled the bag on this exact thing of trying to get people to stop cutting down the trees is enough to make
He's not,
people fight
but that's not the
against
goal. That's not the goal to
Yeah,
start
they need
cutting that
money.
tree.
They
That's
need
the
that
goal is to
money.
make money. Is to get
The
that
goal
money.
is to plant trees.
it. The goal is to make money.
by spending
Yeah,
by
and also
spending
make-
money.
Yeah, Mr. Beast can do all that shit. They just need to make the money.
Now, I think like for the Nakoruru and Tighnari debate, because that's actually like a lot of similar points. The thing that still has me on Tighnari's side is that just like what their goal would be in the end. Because Nakoruru, her whole thing after becoming a Maiden of Light is that she realizes that this power is far beyond just like the mortal reach. She wouldn't want to misuse her power, use it for anything selfish, which I would argue raising money if they're trying to get feastables, or I guess just more money, cut the profit, would be. But the thing is, Tighnari, along with being a forest ranger, is always helping people and trying to stop, what the fuck is the decaying trees called? The withering.
The withering.
So he not only is he trying to do this for the Gandharvaville and stopping the withering, raising more Mora or money like that, I'm pretty sure Nahida would be okay using her powers or using the Traveler's connections to get this thing done.
So here's my point. Mora would not have Mr. Beast would not know what the fuck to do with Mora. there's my counter argument. He's gonna have like a bunch of these fucking coins. He's like, what the
I'm
fuck
pretty
is
sure
this?
Kamui Katan doesn't use American dollar bills either.
I mean, she doesn't use American dollar bills, but she can just go to like not Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
She can go to King of Fighters, and that has like modern day currency.
I would say there's no way to translate dollar bills to Mora had there not be like there's like transmutation with alchemy and shit. Also, we know Liyue is about to crash the stock market with Zhongli no longer pumping out money. So I think there is a reason to raise this money, even if like because obviously it's weird universe crossing over thing. I think Tighnari has a good enough reason to try and make money with Mr. Beast.
I think the only thing would be just she has connections to characters that are more modern day. Like she has connections to a pop idol, and that's gonna really help her.
Well, is this taking place in the fiction or outside of the fiction? Because like
Mr. Beast World.
I think the Genshin cast is more relevant nowadays than the SNK cast.
I mean, if I would say in fiction, then like there's the idols in fiction. But if we're talking about like in context to like a greater scope, like real life, then obviously there's more Genshin players than there are.
That's what I think the debate would be based in if it's Mr. Beast.
Yeah. If it's that's true. If it's Mr. Beast, I could give that to Tighnari.
Okay, yeah. Tighnari wins a close second to the Lorax. I think we got a good.
Yeah. Okay.
Winner, the Lorax.
Okay. All right, Light Yagami.
Now what we're really here for.
All right, so Rivet, you're the one you promised Light Yagami. Oh, it's actually okay. The thumbnail is Light versus Sheldon, but they say Sheldon versus Light Yagami. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, Light has been exposed as Kira, and Sheldon joins the fray because Kira was a stinky meanie head to him on 4chan. They battle it out on Drama Alert, whose reputation will remain more intact. Rivet, you gotta start.
We're gonna red pen Drama Alert and just say like they're trying to cancel each other.
Yeah. We're I refuse
cancel
to
each other. Go ahead.
Okay. I would go as far as to say, just in general, Light is a more cunning and manipulative person than Sheldon is, and has the ability to make randos like do what he wants. So in theory, he could get people to like annoy Sheldon. Or like do stuff that would put Sheldon in a bad light and then like record it. He could even have other people record it if he was like, oh, this person is recording something, uploads it, and then dies by getting hit by a bus or something like that. Like he could probably do that. Sheldon is just way fucking like more sensitive. Light is way cooler under pressure. I feel like Sheldon's gonna start freaking out. He's gonna start hyperventilating probably at the threat of the fact that he's talking to the fucking guy with the death note. I'm assuming that Light was mean to Sheldon on 4chan.
Yeah, that's what
before he was exposed as Kira. So he is now on Drama Alert against the guy who can literally write his name down, has now seen his face. Sheldon's gonna be sweating buckets.
Okay.
So Light's gonna be able to play him like a fucking piano.
So, in the scenario, Light has been exposed as Kira. He is the biggest serial killer known to man. How is he gonna have a reputation? How is Sheldon gonna have a reputation worse than that? How? Sheldon is not a mass murderer. He has not killed anybody in his entire life. Light Yagami is a horrible, heinous serial killer. I don't know what the point of this is.
Didn't Sheldon win the Nobel Prize at the end?
He also won the Nobel Prize. That's part of it too. He's literally How is he gonna get a? If he's annoying,
This is the type of scenario we make like as an intentional stomp. Like,
Sheldon
oh,
could
dude,
be as annoying
Mario
as he
versus Sonic.
wants.
Okay, who has red? They win.
So yeah, I was able to cobble together like a debate, but
No matter how annoying Sheldon is, this is a mass murderer.
Yeah, I think Sheldon wins, personally.
I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this video.
Now hang on, there were those people online in Death Note that was like, you know what, Kira's kind of right. Like, Kira's got a point.
It's like the scene in Hawkeye. It's like the scene where Hawkeye looks at the site and sees someone wrote Thanos was right, and that's what happens here. Like Sheldon goes into the bathroom and he just sees someone wrote on the sink, Kira was right. And he just has a breakdown.
Also, I'm gonna be honest. Once Light is exposed as Kira, isn't that the point where Ryuk fucking kills him?
That's when he fucking dies.
So mid-interview, I'm pretty sure Light's gonna die. Like he's gonna be debating against Sheldon, and then Ryuk's in the other room and he goes, "Thanks, Light. This was interesting." And he's gonna
I don't think this is gonna be one that makes it to the actual show. As Light should definitely get an episode though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Ribbit, how does it feel to have lost to Sheldon?
This is gonna be a real debate.
At least Moss came close.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's the only time I'm ever gonna hear Sheldon Cooper beating Light Yagami.
Yeah, that's the only scenario you can come up with where Sheldon does.
You somehow picked the only scenario where Sheldon Lee Cooper beats Light Yagami.
This should have been so fucking free for me.
Okay. Luigi for the Five Nights at Freddy's. Can Luigi survive all 5 Nights at Freddy's?
Oh hell yeah!
Okay.
Right.
And I'm assuming stats are equalized, right?
Okay, now which FNAF is this? Just the first one again?
It's just the first.
You know what? I'm gonna mix this up because we just figured out that fucking So I'm gonna say that it's Luigi and Ultimate Custom Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ultimate Custom Night would be better.
Okay. Yeah.
But he just has to survive 5 nights.
Yeah. He just survive 5 nights.
I like the point. Luigi's power-ups are not all used for just direct assault. He can use stuff like the Vanish Flower for evasion, or he can use stuff like the Tanuki Leaf or Rock Mushroom to coat himself in rock. And at that point, what the fuck are the animatronics going to do? Them having to break through an impenetrable stone statue would be one thing, but if he's rolling around as a giant boulder, how are any of them going to catch him? Like, if Luigi gets all his power-ups, which I think is fair given how many opponents he's up against, not to mention, like, it's not like all 50 of them are going to be on him at once, regardless. So if he takes them down one by one, I think that is a viable option. Because he's taken down larger spiritual enemies, like there's King Boo or Adam, if you want to deafen him for 10 seconds, because I know you frighten easily around them, Bouldergeist.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, the terrifying Bouldergeist.
God damn it. Bouldergeist!
Or like he just, or if Luigi just gets a fire flower and burns the building to the ground, like what Wait, I think that
Springtrap survived the building burning down in FNAF 3.
Okay, so then he beats Springtrap to death with a hammer.
They burnt him a lot. Like there was like 3 or 4 times they set him on fire. They need to learn to do something else.
I'm realizing he's got like power-ups to clone himself, so even then the numbers disadvantage won't be too bad in the long run.
I will say, still on the burning building thing. When the animatronics were burnt inside of a building, they all like kind of fused into one giant blob and became way stronger. So that's probably not the best.
So they all fuse into one, meaning a single target that Luigi doesn't have to constantly be watching his back for.
Well, assuming stats are equalized, these guys casually overpowered Springtrap, and that dude could one-shot other animatronics. So this thing probably would overpower Luigi in this case.
Luigi fights and outmaneuvers opponents stronger than
Hang
him
on,
on the regular.
I actually, now that it's Ultimate Custom Night, I had to do a little research just because I'm not as familiar with FNAF as everyone. I think I actually can make a case for FNAF.
Let's fucking
I'm
go!
the only supposed to be debating.
Bring it home, Brandon!
Now, your argument is from the angle that Luigi...
Avenge him.
I said eventually.
Oh, yeah.
I
Your
failed at
argument is
FNAF.
given the angle that Luigi should get his power-ups. And I would argue narratively, I actually don't think he should. Because, well, if the scenario is him becoming a security guard at FNAF, I don't see any reason for Luigi to carry these power-ups on hand. I think that's the whole reason he didn't have them in Luigi's mansion, is because he went into the mansion expecting a prize, not expecting a combative scenario. So, of course, he wouldn't have his deep pockets of Mario power-ups if he's only expecting just to work a night shift. Now, even if you want to give Luigi the basic stuff, which I think seems fair, I don't think it's enough to counter the sheer number of animatronics that he's going to have to go through. And I think, really, what this comes down to is, obviously, you could say on paper, Luigi has all these combative abilities. God knows if Luigi got him in a down throw loop like an Ultimate, it'd basically be over. But I think mentality is really the big sticking point here, because what was stopped when Luigi went into Dark Moon and the third game, I forget if there's the suffix to that, he also didn't have any power-ups. So I think he's just going to come with the bare essentials if he takes a second night and has to come back. But also, I think, like you said, Luigi has found himself afraid of way less. Like in Luigi's Mansion 3, we see that he has trauma from King Boo. And in Mario and Luigi Dream Team, he has nightmares because of Phantasma, possibly destroying the world. Now, I think if the FNAF animatronics can induce hallucinations on Luigi, considering the type of enemies that get him to yelp with fear, I think that's more than enough to just get him quivering, get him slipping up. And the fact that it's ultimate custom night and so many animatronics are coming for him, I think that actually will be too much for him, let alone him wanting to come back for a second night because of the aforementioned trauma that he does, in fact, experience. Or there's also just, I feel like the hallucinations bit is actually what's going to be stopping Luigi. Let alone, the whole motivation for him getting through Luigi's Mansion 1 was Mario. Like, he had to swallow his fear and push through all of it to eventually save Mario. But there's no end goal. There's nothing stopping Luigi from... What is his motivation to come back nights 2 through 5?
Minimum wage.
Through the first night.
Yeah, he's got to get that money.
The money? He's got a golden flower. I mean, he's got money on tap.
I do want to say...
That's the angle I have to argue FNAF from. But
some of the hallucinations in Ultimate Custom Night, like I think Old Man Consequences is one. If you don't, if you have to interact with them or else you die. As well.
Yeah,
so,
you can just nah, I'm not gonna deal with this. He's just literally gonna.
I got one.
Not to mention the nightmare animatronics as well in Ultimate Custom Night.
I was saying, I was going into this confident when it was FNAF 1, but now that it's been changed, that's thrown me for a loop.
Actually, here's my argument. Y'all are laying in the FNAF arguments. I think the Poltergeist is going to take care of a lot of what Luigi's going to have to deal with. Even though he's scared, he still manages to push through. I think the Poltergeist is going to suck up the children's souls. God, that sounds fucking.
Oh my God.
Hey,
it's going to take care of a lot of the animatronics just by virtue of pulling them out of the
the fact that there are some that are non-physical that are not even spiritual that he can't.
And this is not even a thing that this would just be Luigi Mansion bosses, or
he can only take one at a time.
I think if you're thinking of the FNAF animatronics as slow hulking robots, then that's fair. But
no, they're not slow hulking robots. But yeah, I think even if they were
Ultimate Custom Night has so many thrown at you at once, and there's a ton of animatronics that have things that that Luigi wouldn't know on a first night. Like for example, Balloon Boy would probably be able to shut off Luigi's poltergeist. I'd argue if he's able to do that it's with the flashlight, right?
Yeah, and also Balloon Boy isn't a ghost. The FNAF, a lot of the FNAF animatronics
I
actually
can
aren't
also
very-
see Luigi getting super spooked by the marionette, having to wind that up. That's the thing. It's just there's so much you have to micromanage that Ultimate Custom, right? It really
You have
is.
to watch. You have to watch
it
the
is
vents,
nightmare
the
mode
doors,
for FNAF.
all the
I think
cameras.
someone as like
Wait.
jittery as Luigi
You literally
is
have to
gonna
help Toy
fucking
Freddy
with that.
beat Five Nights at Freddy's in order to stop him from killing you. There's a
Now
lot
that, I
to
think, now that I think
As
about it
far
as well,
as-
how would Luigi know to use the poltergeist? Because none of them are out overtly ghosts.
That'd be like
And
his
then-
first go-to.
No,
If
it
it's a
wouldn't.
spooky
Yeah.
scenario, if it's a spooky scenario and he has no power-ups, then like
Use
Luigi's
it against
go-to, if he's faced with a robot, probably would not be to use the poltergeist.
well, then would we be giving him his power-ups?
He
Because
would hop on its head.
the crutch of the argument, the crutch of the argument here is that he wouldn't bring his power-ups to a Five Nights at Freddy's setting, which I think,
Yeah,
which I
as
feel
far-
would just limit him a lot. And then saying
On
that he
night
would just
2
be
maybe, but
overwhelmed.
let's say Luigi does use the poltergeist on an animatronic, then Balloon Boy would come in, disable it, and then he would really not have a lot of options.
The argument of
It's-
like no power-ups would only extend to the first night.
And like it doesn't help. Like
Yeah,
he can
sure.
only get one ghost, one animatronic at a time with that.
Like I said, the whole no power-ups thing would only extend to the first night. If he feels threatened, all he would need to do is survive the first night, and then the rest of the nights would be pretty easy. You'd have all his shit on.
Wouldn't he just decide not to go back?
Yeah,
That seems way more in character for Luigi.
The best
Are we
argument
gonna
I
let
can
it
see
end
is
if
that
him
he
just
just
quitting?
doesn't.
Would he win by default in that case?
I fucking quit.
Yeah, but no, like the
Fuck
best
this.
argument I see for them is that just he doesn't come back, because if he comes back, like even a power star is pretty standard.
Because that's why I had to argue from the angle of he shouldn't have
You
power
could
ups. Because
argue
obviously,
that
if he has all the
maybe
Mario
Luigi-
stuff, then yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
one shot.
it's
Maybe Luigi comes back because he can tell it's evil spirits in there and he wants to like save other
but
people.
also Luigi can see ghosts too. Like,
I'll give it to Luigi if I can be like my memory can be jogged. What was his motivation for the multiple mansions in Dark Moon?
I think he was
the
just
Dark-
tricked into going there.
he went
Oh
to
no,
no,
that's
Dark-
the third
Dark
game. Never
Moon-
mind.
Dark Moon pretty much had King Boo destroy the Dark Moon. Egad called him and then said, "King Boo is back. Get
Okay,
over
So
here."
that's just Luigi dealing with an end.
He's just doing
with
what's
a-
right.
I would imagine in this
rival.
scenario, to make it not a cop out of Luigi quits, Egad would be the one sending him to do the FNAF stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he would like let these
But
monsters go free.
Even
He's
with
a
the
heroic guy.
poltergeist alone, the poltergeist would be able to cancel out, or it can see through ghost illusions in Luigi's mansion. It can freeze ghosts by flashing and multiple ghosts at the same time.
Does
And then-
Luigi copy the personality of Luigi, or is it its own entity?
I think Luigi was just Luigi. Like, it had no personality.
Okay. Well, I think I argue from the angle I could for
You,
FNAF,
that was
but I
fucking.
do
I
Luigi.
almost gave it to FNAF, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Luigi. I'm saying Luigi.
I mean,
It's
no, that was a
Luigi.
that was a really good
That is a
argument.
strong
for
argument.
FNAF.
You had
Also,
that-
yeah,
that
I'm
was a good
surprised.
argument.
I'm so very surprised Biff didn't say that Luigi can literally manipulate electricity to shut down all the animatronics.
Oh,
I
wait
for-
a
I
minute.
forgot
If
about that.
Bivweed went into
I was-
non-standard stuff, I would have brought him FNAF World.
FNAF world.
We got time for one more of these matches.
Because literally, it's
Yeah,
literally a
thanks,
main
Danny.
point that if the animatronics can get damaged and potentially just break after electricity. So I'm surprised he didn't bring that up.
Is so currently my record here is one earned win, winning one for someone else, and then having everyone else win one for me.
Don't worry, babe.
Uh,
Got your back.
Okay, so
Oh boy.
I think is this gonna be the last one we got right now, or are we gonna also?
Yeah, we can do
Yeah.
one more.
A
Not
Rool
last one.
versus
Blackbeard.
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 Sure.
Was there a scenario for this?
Yeah, this is scenario. Nothing like
Alright.
an old pirate heist. As a criminal, no, I'm not fucking doing that shit. As a criminal and Blackbeard crew end up at the same island for the same treasure. It's a race to see who will find the booty first. Who will prove themselves the better pirate captain and leave the others shipwrecked.
Oh, this is bad given recent One Piece stuff. Oh, this is not a good scenario. I
Oh.
think Blackbeard just wins.
Well, you're
Oh,
the
what?
first one, so go ahead.
All right, so obviously,
PK
like
Wolf Flash.
Blackbeard,
I know, but
this wouldn't be like
DJ
this
for
wouldn't be
Blackbeard.
applicable to yeah, this wouldn't be applicable to other fictional characters because they're not like a double freezer. But Blackbeard does have like the vortex, like black holes, or like the black vortex fruit, which can like suck up a bunch of objects automatically. Like any weaponry or anything that K Rool or the Kremlins have are just kind of gonna be fucking taken care of immediately. On top of that, he has Whitebeard's devil fruit, which is the earthquake fruit. which he can create earthquakes. That's gonna fuck up like any of like their mobility options. 'Cause he can just punch and then goodbye mobility because you sent an earthquake their way. And on top of that, Blackbeard is a naturally charismatic leader. He's very good at planning. That's kind of like his whole deal. He stays in the shadows, plans, then fucks shit up and steals whatever's left. Immediately, I think that K. Rool's bumbling sort of attitude is going to not do well against Blackbeard because Blackbeard's does very well against like pirate captains that have a huge ego. On top of that, his 10 commanders all have devil fruits, really powerful ones. So there's Jesus Burgess, who has the strength devil fruit, which he can just casually toss islands now. There's Dot Q, he has the disease devil fruit, which he can just give anybody any sort of disease that they want, and if they don't have strong enough hockey, they just die. They use it against Law, and he like swapped Law's gender with it, and Law had to use his devil fruit to get out of it. There's obviously Aokiji now, who has the ice devil fruit, which he could just freeze everybody in place. Let me keep looking, because their devil fruits being revealed is pretty recent, so I don't have that relegated to memory. There's also Shiru, who has the invisible fruit. He could just make himself invisible and sneak past any of like the Kremlins. And since he's a master swordsman, he can just stay invisible and kill them that way. And there's a few more with devil fruits, but even just those alone are just kind of gonna fuck them up. There's the guy with the liquor fruit. I'm not sure if we have Lafitte's yet, but we do have Sanwan Wolf's devil fruit, which it just turns him to a fucking giant. So even if K. Rool's like big as like tech and shit, he can just turn giant. And on top of that, Blackbeard has like a fleet of like ads comparable to Luffy, so it's not even a question. He has his own island, has his own pirate island, a bunch of like lower pirates that can be at his beck and call. I'm not sure where K. Rool would just not lose here.
All right.
Okay, well, for starters, definitely underestimating the Croc King here because a lot of those powers you mentioned, K. Rool already has himself by default. Like, there's boss fights where he turns invisible. There's boss fights where he turns giant after eating like one of Donkey Kong's special bananas. I think was the case. Yeah.
The crystal banana. Yeah.
Yeah. K. Rool also has a lot more natural defenses, like the golden gut armor. He can just body check Blackbeard if he goes for any physical blows. Plus, I think right off the bat, Blackbeard he does have a lot more than I thought, but I think K. Rool still is going to have like a sheer numbers advantage because like just by virtue of how these games work, there's like hundreds, if not thousands of minions he has like spread out all over the levels. And that's not even accounting for like all the other Kremlins and like the TV shows and other material that he's seen conversing with, like the pirate Captain Scurvy guy. He's got his own battalion. He's got Kremlins that can fly, so therefore just good luck with the earthquake there. And then K. Rool himself can fly with the helicopter pack, with his own machine.
I mean, Dot Q's horse, the Pegasus, can also fly.
Okay, well that's one he's got out of several.
Van
that K. Rool have.
Augur, their sniper, can also teleport.
Okay, so two. Again, K. Rool has several.
You can go on.
I have a few things I remember for K. Rool.
Not giving up.
No,
I mean, you can keep going. I mean, if you're done, then I can counter argue.
Okay,
I think the thing is that
my brain's
the
frazzled.
the Kremlins are big in size, and K. Rool has a bunch of abilities himself, but Blackbeard has a bunch of abilities spread out across a wider force of people. So I think like just being able to negotiate that is going to be very, very beneficial to him because his commanders, they're comparable to the Straw Hats at least in cunning and intelligence and stuff. We have like master marksmen, we have master cooks, master doctors. Even if like the Kremlins are big in size and there's really not much stopping like Dot Q from going in and just killing them all instantly, K. Rool himself is going to have to be present for the entire time. Blackbeard doesn't need to be present. Aokiji alone could just freeze like the entire island that they're on, and just Aokiji could just freeze the entire that they're on, and then Von Augur could teleport to where the treasure's stored, and that's a game.
So actually, two things of K. Rool. I actually went and found an old document of mine just because I was researching this character or something. I think two big things he has is at the end of DK64, he's got a giant localized island with a gigantic laser beam on it that I'd assume he could just use.
There he is.
It's his Final Smash and Smash Brothers. That he could use as like a huge ranged nuke for Blackbeard and his ships. The other thing is a weird power from the show. I forget which of the Kremlings does it, but they have a magical hex, and if you put this hex on somebody and give them a bad haircut, they completely lose all of their power and strength.
Oh yeah, that was literally the first episode.
So on the island nuke thing, so how Jesus's Burgess fruit is introduced like recently is that literally Von Augur teleported him to an island, fucking threw that shit away. So I think he could just like teleport him there, and then Jesus can just throw the island away, and there goes your big nuke.
I try to help you, Adam. What about the haircut? What about giving him a bad haircut?
I'm not sure. They're gonna have to fucking pin him down and cut him.
Okay, well, in that episode also, K. Rool created a perfect robot replica of Candy Kong that Donkey Kong could not tell the difference between.
Donkey Kong could not tell a difference between.
And that's how they did Donkey Kong.
It was Donkey Kong. Yeah, one of the brilliant minds.
So my point is that they have the technology to like create all these different devices. They can just create.
You talk about fooling people. So Katrina Devon, right? Another commander. She has the nine-tailed fox fruit. And since it's a mythical zone, it's already fucking adorable as shit. It's like one of the most adorable in the series. And she could just transform herself into other people. So she could just like disguise herself as someone full of Kremlings and then go in and take their shit.
Yeah, okay, but do they have the robots?
Do they have the robots? I mean, I guess they don't have robots.
DJ, would that fool Donkey Kong? Would it fool him?
I don't think your transformation magic is gonna feel something like Donkey Kong. Unlike my boy K. Rool's robots.
I'm reading a bio.
Okay, K. Rool should also be comparable to Donkey Kong, who punched the moon out of the sky. What if K. Rool, because he flies up into space, he does that. He just punches the moon, crushes Blackbeard.
Now, I already made a down throw joke earlier in this recording, but if K. Rool had a Ridley, so he could just do down throw and Ridley could do jab, it would be over. But Ridley is not.
Ridley's another pirate, so we can say they're in cahoots. They're.
Look, apparently K. Rool.
Yeah, they know each other from
K.
Smash
Rool
Brothers.
Can create like magic barriers to trap people behind, if that helps. You like seal people.
Oh yeah,
my main argument is just that Blackbeard already himself pretty strong. His 10 commanders and then the rest of his fleet that K. Rool's fucked. Like I think if it was Blackbeard alone versus K. Rool, then yeah, I think K. Rool would probably win. But if he has all his 10 captains and he's spreading across their force across 10 people and like 5,000 other pirates, I don't think that K. Rool's winning, even with the Gremlins.
Wait. Max, we completely misunderstood the scenario. I went back to look at what this person actually wanted. They just wanted to argue who could find treasure first. It's a race to see who will find the booty first. And then they started arguing it like a fight.
I read it word by word.
I'm arguing a fight like a war, like where who's gonna steal.
Where did it say they got 10 commanders then?
Yeah.
Even if they're finding treasure, if they're
I read exactly what they wrote.
Okay, wait, no, hold on.
No, they had their crew. Both
have
the Kremlins and the Blackbeard crew.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about their abilities, and like even in a fight, like this is going to turn into a fight. Like that's what it is.
Yeah,
and then.
If it's a race,
specified they were on the same island, right?
If it's a race, though, who find the treasure first, then it's
on the same island. They got there at the same time.
Right, I got this.
Yeah,
I can back Adam up on this. Right, you guys know that it takes them a long time to find the One Piece.
That's true.
Yeah, you're from a series of notorious
for after 1,000
So the One Piece being like hard to find is an actual reason for it. Like regular treasure, they find all the fucking like that's just like a regular occurrence.
Well, I'm sorry, I tried that.
But the one piece is hard to find because Roger hid it himself.
No, but the
only-
funny guy with his cock out said the One Piece is real, so how come you haven't found it?
Well,
So
we
yeah,
know that One Piece is real.
Roger hid it,
Like-
and the only reason why they can't find it is because in order to find it, you need 4 specific poneglyphs, which are like basically like encryptions, like other world,
I'm gonna
not
deafen
other
for
world,
this
like other
part.
language, other language encryptions, that they need to specifically solve in order, and they have to tie together the 4 coordinates of those poneglyphs to find the One Piece. However, they can't like encrypt those things because the people that know the language are all dead. They were all killed off by the world government. The only person that knows it is Robin. And like
Well,
2
Max
other people.
too, because Max found the One
God
Piece.
damn it.
Spoiler alert for One Piece, by the way, just in case.
Yeah,
any viewers
I'm
haven't.
watching
Yeah.
it, so I deafened real quick.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Blackbeard's gonna win this, but Cable tried.
Right? He
It's
succeeded
funny.
because I know Blackbeard. He's a
I think it's
lazy.
I think it was close.
No,
Like,
it
like,
actually
is-
is- it actually
like
is,
Tiki said, if it was just like Blackbeard and K-Wool, I think I probably would have gone with K-Wool.
Like, Cable does have
The
magic.
fact that
He does have
Bro,
magic.
you're adding like every single one of his
Yeah, yeah.
commanders that just got their devil
Yeah.
fruits revealed. If this was like, if we were talking about this like 2 months earlier, then I would still say K-Rool would win. But we just
Now,
found out what their devil fruits were.
I know, Adam, I know you're 0-3.
Mm.
I think Frieza versus Marks is a genuine debate. You got dealt a really bad hand these last 2.
Yeah.
No, I gotta get something.
We got you. Your time is gonna come. Let me see what else you have on this docket.
Can we just rig something for Adam real quick?
No, don't do that.
Adam
Don't.
doesn't need no pity.
Yeah, he don't need it.
Yeah,
He'll win that victory
I
fair
see
and
some
square.
Well, I
upcoming
got
ones that I
some I might
definitely
be
think
able.
the odds are in your favor.
Okay.
Is,
think-
is this it for this episode right now? I think we
so.
we went on for a
Yeah,
while.
that's a good place.
But we'll
Good
see you
place
guys
to
on
call
another
this.
episode.
Alright.
See what happens.
Yep.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
later.
Join us on the
Bye.
next episode where we finally get Adam's W. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Search for
The
Adam's
Adam,
W.
the Adam W is real.